We're here with NSU Sprints coach Adam Pennington. Coach, a really successful year last year. You're talking about the 4x100 made NCAA championships. You had two 100 sprinters in Amir James and Michael Larkins. And then you developed a lot more on the female side, brought in a lot more numbers. What types of things have you really been working on this fall with a really deep sprinters class on both sides?
I think it's just been a big adjustment just from going last year. I think we had probably anywhere from 6 to 7 female sprinters, and this year we're somewhere around 18 to 19 on the women's side. So it's only one of me and 30 of those, so it's a little bit harder for me to, I think, get a lot of individual one-on-one time. But overall, I think the group itself is just, someone that can rely on each other. So, if I'm not there for something, I think they all push each other to get to that next level. So I don't have to worry about cutting corners or taking reps off or anything like that. I think they're all pretty self-motivated, so I think that's a plus.
You only lose an alternate off the 4x1 men's team that made the NCAA championships. For guys that got a taste of Tracktown USA in Oregon, what's that motivation like to get back and for other teammates to join them?
Well, as long as they remain humble, because nothing's guaranteed. I know even though they all got there last year and 3 of them were underclassmen, that they feel that they can get right back, but they're going to have to work just as hard. On top of that, none of them's guaranteed spots on that 4x1 this year, because I've brought in some other guys who can actually compete and maybe get on that 4x1 too. So that's a plus, and I think they're pretty humble. I don't think that they think anything's guaranteed. So overall on the guys side, there's only about 12 guys, but they're very close and competitive, and I think that they're all whoever's going to be, they'll be happy for them.
Shaylin Jones was talking about the newfound competition on the women's side with the influx of sprinters there. What are some things we can expect to see from the women this year?
The women, the newcomers have actually brought a lot of heat to the girls that were here last year, and which is kind of crazy because we won the 100, won the 2, won the 4, was second in the 4x1, so there's some pretty good sprinters that was already here. So to add some of the top-notch sprinters in the state or out of state is really pushed our girls from last year, So I think they thought they were just going to come back in and be top dogs, and we have some of these freshmen and junior college transfers that's actually pushing them, which has made them actually work a lot harder. And I think right now at this time of the year they look a lot better than they did in the previous year. So that's a plus. If they ran as good as they did last year and they look better at this time right now, then I'm pretty excited for this year.
NSU hasn't had any recent pole vaulters, at least the past couple of years. You bring in a couple of males and females on that side. If they can give you any points at the conference championship, how important is that? Especially you bring in a guy, Nathan Dore from McNeese State, that has some experience too.
Right. Well, he'll actually redshirt this year, so he'll be out here next year, and he's going to do good for us. He's a guy who I've known and been around for years now, and he's got to just kind of, I think his biggest obstacle this year is just getting over the year and redshirting and being able to compete a few unattached meets. On the women's side, we have a few girls who I think that'll actually give ourselves at least a chance to score some points, even if it's at the bottom end. But again, we're coming from a program that hasn't had any vaulters, so I'd like to start developing some vaulters and bringing some vaulters in. I'm recruiting some vaulters now, so over the next 2 years, I would like to at least have 3 or 4 men and 3 or 4 women, to be able to compete in the vault and hopefully help us out and get to the points that we need to actually win a conference title. Because last year I think we were just lacking in a few areas, that if we just had a few more numbers or get a little bit more depth on those sides, then we should have a chance to at least win or be right back where we were last year on the women's side, and on the men's side we're in the top 3 teams. So
Adam, thank you very much.
I appreciate it.
Appreciate it.